Welcome to episode 6. We are still in Coolgardie, as you may know if you've seen episode 5. The plan today is to do 330 kilometers to Baladonia, but worst case we want to make it down to Norseman, which is the start of the Nullarbor and a big milestone for us. So fingers crossed everything goes right this time.
As you can see, there's just trees everywhere. The landing options are shrubbery down there, little patches. So we need to be really aware of where we're flying, constantly have a land out. And the problem is we've got to fly quite low to make some progress, to make some headway because of the wind as well.
So my admin has been absolutely awful and I lost my gloves, but these boys has followed us down from Coolgardie to Widgymiltha and bought me some gloves on the way. Again, Australia is absolutely wicked for friendliness. People are just insanely kind. Well, they didn't even bought them. They didn't even buy them, sorry, bought them. They went to the shop and told the guys what we were doing, and they're like, oh, take these, give them to the... Oh, what? Some guy never met was just giving away some gloves. Absolutely ridiculous. Love this place. Anyway, let's start off with my admin because we've got a long way to go yet. It's a good job those boys did come and bring me gloves, because it turns out we didn't leave fuel here. Both Twitty and I would have bet money that we remember Scott walking up into the woods here and dropping some fuel. But because we couldn't find it, we messaged Scott and he said, nah, we chose not to do it that way. We chose to land somewhere else and at this fuel station instead of going back to Widgymiltha. And both Twitty and I have no memory of it. It shows we're probably starting to hallucinate now as well. So yeah, the boys took us to get some fuel and then brought us back. So it's a good job they were here and brought me some gloves. Oh, and in addition to that, my gloves were in the ute that was used to come and pick us up after Andy's piston blew up. So they must have fallen out my helmet, or I just threw them in there because we had a lot going on. But yeah, definitely bad admin that I need to sort out. But thankfully, Dion to the rescue again. He's drove down an hour away and dropped the gloves off to me now while we're waiting for the weather to calm. So another shout out to Dion, being an absolute legend and hero, saviour. So yeah, wait for the wind to die down and then we'll head on to Norseman and we'll stop there for the night and then hopefully crack on tomorrow and hopefully have some better luck and better admin. Okay, so we've been waiting for the gusts to calm down and now, yeah, the trees, the treetops being blown in the wind, as well as my dodgy hair. And now we've run out of time to get to Norseman because we've got a headwind, so it would take about 3 hours to do 100k. So I'm finally getting Twitty to camp out for the night.
And I'm scared.
He's terrified of bugs and creatures and all sorts of stuff. That's such a big burly man. So we're camping out on the little salt flat down here. We're just going to go set up tents and then get into bed. An early night for an early morning. We're all set up for the night. We've both got the gin paramotor tent. The paramotors sit in a separate compartment so that you don't get fumed out basically. And then it's very well ventilated as well through a gap at the front and then straight out the bottom. And then inside I've got the Sea to Summit sleeping bag, air mattress and pillow as well, which is great stuff. It's designed in Australia in Perth.
Very lightweight, very warm, but also nifty little things like the blow up for the airbag. It's just a bag, you blow into it and then roll it up so that you don't need to blow your lungs out trying to blow this thing up. I'm very excited to camp out. Very excited to hear Andrew scream throughout the night as he hears bugs and whatever crawl past him. It's 6 o'clock already and it's pitch black, but we've got a little fire going, a little campfire, a little bromantic evening together in the middle of nowhere on this salt flat. Tomorrow morning we're going to get up early, fly down to Norseman, 100 kilometres. We've got a weather window to do that, or fingers crossed we have a weather window to do that, and then we'll make a plan from there.
I had a great night.
Great. Yeah. You're like being in a 5-star hotel. So warm, so cosy. Sky TV, phone reception, had everything that you want. I feel homeless. I look homeless, look at me. I've slept in my clothes.
Twitty had everything on that he uses to fly because he was so cold, and because I splashed out and got the Sea to Summit sleeping bag. I had a t-shirt and my thermal leggings on. Beautiful sunrise again this morning, as is always the case in Australia. And we're going to take off and head to Norseman.
Okay, so you might not be able to tell, but we're traveling along the road and my wing is actually pointing in that direction. So there's a good 45 degrees. Because of the strong wind, we're having to crab along the road here. Still traveling at 40k an hour, so it'll be about 3 hours to get to Norseman. For the first time this trip, we're getting to fly low and over salt flats nonetheless. Bloody brilliant. Look at this. Okay, our original landing spot was going to be that sports field over there, just over the road from the garage. But there's way too much wind coming across and it's just going to be real dangerous with the rotor. Thankfully there's an airstrip here. I've already called it in on the radio and we don't need a lot to land. And then you will just motor the trikes onto the road and into town. Hell of a safer option.
Okay, so we've made it to Norseman, which is the start of the Nullarbor. Big milestone for me because it's the next stage of what we're trying to achieve. Getting here, the winds were a lot higher than forecast, but that did mean we managed to get 90k an hour at one point, which is the maximum speed. If we get more of that, then it'll make our project a lot shorter. We've had a quick wander about here, and Norseman, just a fun fact for you, is named after a horse which came back to its owner with a gold nugget stuck in its hoof. And that's how this town was developed, because they found gold here. This whole area, as I mentioned in the last episode, was famous for gold hunting. In fact, Twitty's meeting a lot of his celebrities because he watches Aussie gold hunters quite a lot. Also, on another fact, Twitty he's over the moon at the minute. He's very happy because he's managed to find some Yorkshire tea bags. He is absolutely ecstatic. So that's him sorted. We've got 4 days, well, to drink tea and sit around and not really do much. The town is a bit of a ghost town here, not a lot to do. We've been walking a bit, but apart from that, you could tell it used to be big. back in its mining day, but not a lot now. There's not that much going on. So yeah, we've got 4 days here. So let's catch up in 4 days when the wind comes good again and we can get going. 4 days later and we are ready to go in the morning. As I said before, there's not a huge amount going on here. We've been for a walk and that's about it, which is taking its toll on the mind for sure. At least this place we have an opportunity to cook in, so we get to eat a bit healthier. I think I am the unfittest I have been in quite some time with all the takeaways, everything like that. It's the only thing available. We can't go buy and cook and do all these things. So yeah, it's a bit weird. I did think I'd be losing weight on this. The Nullarbor. The gas stations are so far apart that we've had to put most of our fuel caches in along the Nullarbor, which means if we do stop out at one of those places or the wind picks up when we get there, it means we will be camping out. We do have to take supplies with us. We do need to make sure we've got enough water. This is the most dangerous section, and yet it's the one where people are most likely to help you out. As you know, the reception and help we've had in Australia has been absolutely fantastic. I couldn't have asked for more. But on the Nullarbor, people are extra helpful because they know that you've got no other option, basically. So if we do have to land out for any reason, or there's any problems, or we run out of water or food or something like that, which shouldn't happen, we're taking precautions for it, then we would get picked up and taken to the next roadhouse, I'm sure, because everyone here is super friendly. Tomorrow is a very early start. We are getting up, the alarms are set for 4:30 and twilight 5:50, but we've got a bit of a walk to get down to our takeoff field because we had to land at the airfield, so we're going back there. So yeah, very early start tomorrow. So I shall see you in the morning.
This is the sketchy bit that I was talking about. Just trees as far as you can see. And the only landing is down there on the road, which is why we're sticking so close to it.
Oh my god, my hands are freezing. And if mine are cold, then Twitty is definitely struggling. Whew.
Okay, we're just getting thrown about all over the place up here. We're scoping out this area just in front of me now, that you can see on the camera, where there's no trees. It's the only landing point we've had for 25k. We're going to scope it out, see if it's just shrubbery, see if we can land. If we can, we'll land there, wait till later. Hopefully it dies down. If not, then we'll be camping there and setting off tomorrow morning.
God, those plants smell amazing.
How was your ride?
Bumpy ride.
A bumpy ride.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Better down here.
Yeah, it is for sure. We've been chucked around all over the place. What happened to your wing?
It just went like that.
So Twitty's wing decided to do a 90-degree turn, so we decided that was enough and we'd come in to land. Well, luckily we found somewhere to land, just a bit of bushland out in the middle of all these trees. But that means there's absolutely nothing to do except catch some rays and get an Australian siesta in. So we'll do that, and then hopefully it dies down so we can fly on to Baladonia. Okay, I've had a little nap. Just waking up properly. Feel like I caught the sun. Maybe that was a bad idea. But the clouds are dissipating. We can see they're getting darker and a hell of a lot smaller. So that means it shouldn't be as turbulent, shouldn't be as much activity in the air. So we're going to try and take off again. well, we are going to take off. We'll see how bumpy it is, hopefully make it to Baladonia and then even push on from there.
It looks like Twitty is really not happy with the conditions, so gone down to land on the salt flats down there, which is fair enough. It's a bit bumpy, and he's on a wing with seemingly a much higher aspect ratio.
Okay, so we're down again.
You can actually physically see me getting thrown about.
I get through, yeah, I can see you getting thrown about. It's quite funny to watch. In fact, I wish I had the GoPro on because I was giggling at some point.
Sure.
How many other idiots do you think have been in the middle of that lake?
There's not many footprints, mate. So I think if you sign your name, I don't think anyone's going to scrub it out.
It's like being on a little vacation. We've got the sun shining. I'm on my lilo, airbed, playing in the sand, or muddy sand. But I have been making something in the sand, a little message.
That's it, we're away. It's so much smoother than it was earlier. We're doing about 50k, so we should be there within the hour. Getting to Baladonia Roadhouse, and apparently, according to their reviews, they do a cracking burger. So I'll let you know.
Okay, so it's the standard 1 day flying, 2 weeks stuck. We've decided to take a walk to a place called Afghan Rocks. We've already seen camel tracks, wild dog tracks, camel bones, and it's probably a stupid idea to be honest, but at least Twitty's got his 1-inch blade. Twitty's got his anti-fly device in action. So we've been here for a week now, and the flight here was actually horrendous. As you've seen in the video, we've been thrown around all over the place, and worse so for Twitty. But it's to do with the wings. So Twitty is on the Ozone Viper 5, and I'm on the Speedster 3. It's crazy efficient.
Oh, it's crazy efficient. You know, I'm using 1.5 to 2 litres an hour less than you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
So when we're slow trim, we're about the same on fuel consumption. But when we go full trim, you're so much more fuel efficient.
yeah, but we're very similar speed.
So it's a 3-liner. There's thinner lines as well, so there's less parasitic drag. And it's a higher aspect ratio, but that means Twitty really feels
Everything. Every single thing.
whereas the Speedster 3 is a bit more forgiving with a lower aspect ratio.
And the other day, it was that bumper. When the hoop of your cage hits your risers, it's time to land. I think I should have got a Speedster 3.
Yeah.
But it is a good win. We haven't had no collapses yet, and it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
They're both crazy good to launch. They're really efficient. Twitty's is obviously more efficient. Obviously strong enough. They're really good wings. I've got a lot of faith in mine, actually.
I've got a lot of faith in the wing, just the ability of the pilot. I'm not too faithful.
Okay, so we've got hopefully 4 days left.
Not even that. It's Tuesday today.
Okay, 3 days left. Hopefully 3 days left, and then the weather is looking good all day. So that's going to be our 500k day.
I love the optimism.
That's the plan.
If we get 350, I'll be overjoyed.
Another wing I'd like to try, actually, is the Freeride 2.
That'll be for the next trip.
The next trip.
Yeah.
Where should that be?
Alaska to South America, isn't it?
Alaska to South America. Okay.
Go big or go home.
Okay, I've got 2 closing points, but first, I just want to go back to give a shout out to Ryan. So the guy who followed us all the way down to Widgymulfa, his wife messaged me on social media. Their whole family, the 2 little kids, came up to watch us take off from Coolgardie. And from there, he was going down south to Norseman to work and followed us down after, well, it's the day I forgot my gloves. but I would just want to give a huge shout out to them. It shows the power of social media, and without him, it would have been a very long day with our imaginary fuel stop. Okay, so the first of those 2 points is something that I never wanted to do for this project, and that is to ask for support. Twitty and I have a combined sum of about £35,000 invested into this project, which was never meant to be that big. It's all got blown well out of proportion, with flights being double the cost, accommodation values, basically everything added up. We weren't expecting that. Otherwise, like I said, we never would have done it. And when you think about what that could buy, it's a bit ridiculous indeed. So I've set up a GoFundMe page for both of us. And why would you sponsor us? Honestly, the only thing I can think of is that it's relatable to what we're doing, you're really into the sport of paramotoring, or we've inspired you to do something. I'm not going to give the spiel of, oh, it's only a coffee, just give that up for a day. Why would you give up a coffee to pay for our adventure? Don't do that. Don't sell yourself short at all. But if we've inspired you, if you've enjoyed the videos, if you're inspired to take up your own adventure of yourself, anything like that, or even if you've just got loads of money and want to get rid of some before the taxman gets it, I don't know, whatever it is. Any little bit will help. So whether that's a fuel tank or a chocolate bar, whatever like that, or the equivalent of, obviously not going to send them across wherever you are. That will hugely help us complete this project and finish it. As I said, it's got very out of hand, but we can't turn back now. The link is in the description and the comments, so feel free to go visit. The second point is that I will have seen more sunrises and sunsets in this project than I ever have in my life, which is amazing and actually a little bit disappointing, because it's such beautiful things. It's an amazing way to start the day. It really sort of fills you with perspective and all these beautiful scenes and everything like that. It just really helps you out for the day. So my second closing point is a request for you to go and get up early in the morning, get outside and watch the sunrise. Ideally, before the day starts, you've got 20 minutes sitting outside with a cuppa, with nothing else but you, the outdoors, and an incredible sunrise. And even if you don't take your phone, just get outside, watch the sunrise, feel good about yourself, and enjoy the day. That's my closing point. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you come back for episode 7. Episode 7 already. Hopefully episode 7 will be us flying and not still stuck in Baladonia or along the Nullarbor because the weather looks awful. Bye.